Hi friends, welcome to my channel Bridge the Knowledge. Today we will be discussing regarding the type of investments. Before we dive into structural engineering concepts, it's important to understand how projects actually come into existence. Every bridge, road, metro system, or power plant that we design and build starts first as an idea, and that idea needs funding. The way a project is financed and delivered depends on the investment model chosen. So, before understanding the role of structural engineering, let's first explore the types of investment models that shape how infrastructure projects are created. Let's dive into understanding of types of investment models. Today we'll explore three major models: public, private, and public-private partnership, how they differ, and the pros and cons of each. Let's begin. Our first investment model is the public model. In a public investment model, the government fully finances and implements a project using public revenues such as taxes, duties, and government borrowing. The government owns, operates, and maintains the project, bearing both risk and responsibility. Because the aim is often social welfare rather than profit, public investments tend to prioritize universal access and affordability. Typical examples include public hospitals, schools, government constructed roads and railways, and rural development projects. Next, we have the private investment model. Here, private actors, domestic or foreign investors, companies, or consortia finance, develop, and operate the project. Funding can come from private equity, venture capital, bank loans, or foreign direct investment. Private investments are typically profit driven, placing ownership, risk, and reward with the private entity. This often leads to faster execution, more innovation, and cost efficiency. Typical private sector projects include industrial parks, IT companies, real estate ventures, toll roads, and independent power production. Third is the public private partnership, commonly called PPP, which is widely used in most cases. This model blends the strengths of both public and private investment. In a PPP, the public sector provides regulatory support and potentially partial funding or guarantees, while the private sector brings financing, technology, and operational expertise. The two partners share the risks and returns. PPP strikes a balance. It aims for social welfare and accessibility on the public side while leveraging private sector efficiency and innovation. Typical PPP projects include metro systems, airports, ports, highways, and power plants. Within PPPs, there are several submodels to suit different project types and risk/reward trade-offs. Let's look at four key variants. EPC stands for Engineering, Procurement, and Construction. In an EPC model, the government finances the project while private contractors are hired to execute it. The private contractor typically doesn't take on revenue risk, they're paid for delivery and construction. BOT, or Build, Operate, Transfer, is where the private partner builds and operates the facility for a fixed concession period, recouping investment through user fees, for example, toll charges or service fees. After the concession ends, ownership shifts back to the government. BOLT, or Build, Operate, Lease, Transfer, is similar but with a leasing component. The private developer builds and operates the facility, then leases it to the government for fixed payments under a lease agreement. After the lease term, the asset is transferred to government ownership. HAM, the hybrid annuity model, is a hybrid between EPC and BOT. In this model, the government pays 40% of the project cost upfront, and the private partner arranges the remaining 60%. Instead of full revenue risk falling on the private party, the government repays the remainder via annuity payments, significantly reducing financial risk to the private developers. Each submodel balances public and private responsibilities and risks differently. The right choice depends on the project type, expected revenue flows, and regulatory environment. To summarize, public investments emphasize public welfare and access, funded and run entirely by government. Private investments are profit oriented, faster, and more innovative, but entail higher risk for private actors. PPP models represent a middle ground, combining government oversight and funding with private efficiency and financing, with submodels like EPC, BOT, BOLT, and HAM to suit different needs. Understanding these models is crucial because they set the stage for when and how structural engineering expertise comes into play in real projects. Thanks for watching. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more videos on bridge engineering for infrastructure projects.